Fingal Fingers.
So a fun matchup here. We have reigning Clash on the Coast champ Nick Cambi coming out first versus Jeff Lee. Now, Jeff hasn't competed in a little while.
2017.
So it's been a few years for Jeff, but he's making a comeback at America's Strongest Man this year. Again, just to go over the weights, we have the first two fingers at 432 pounds, then 442 and 452 for our four implements. So again, in lane one, we have Nick Cambi, reigning Clash on the Coast champion, multiple world record holder for the overhead events.
Jeff Lee, I tell you, he was very competitive 2017. He actually beat Kevin Ferris at Nationals.
And Jeff, he is deceivingly athletic, right?
He is.
Tall guy, a little over 6 feet tall.
Yes, very tall, very athletic. Here we go.
And here we go.
Good
First
clean,
two fingers. Ooh, little
Jeff,
stumble
little
there
bit of
for
struggle,
Jeff.
Jeff. Nick's blasting through him so far. Little bit of stutter for Nick. This is tough.
The thing we have to watch most is their footwork. Jeff made up some nice time on that second one.
Yep, now they get the heavier ones are moving.
Looks like they both move a little bit smooth there. It's feet slipping for Jeff, and we're on to the fourth finger.
Nick's got to finish this good. Keep finishing, Nick. And he pushes through with time. Good time for Nick.
Good time for Nick. Jeff still fighting through.
Good time for Jeff as well.
What we're going to see with this event, too, is, again, the time is going to stop when the implement hits that tire. So you'll see these athletes kind of pushing that implement down to try to increase that time a little bit.
And you got to wonder.
So we just got word 29.44 for Nick Cambi. Not
That's fast.
bad.
Under 30 seconds for these heavy farmers
for
right
those
here.
times.
He's not gonna be happy with that performance.
No, I agree. You know, he did well at the press medley at Clash.
Yeah.
You know, did very well on day 3 with the axle.
Yep.
So we know what he's capable of.
I think it's the weight cut. Again, this log we talked about. This is not your standard log.
No, I mean, you know, the Bartos log is, I believe, about 12.5-inch diameter. So again, half-inch makes all the difference because it's going to pull you that much more forward, make adjustments on the fly, and now we have the current log press world record holder for 105, Nick Cambi.
Here, I think.
So he has, again, 5 is the number to beat right now with 2 guys tied at 5 reps. I think we're going to see Nick Cambi go to work and try to take over that first place position.
I do think so. He's definitely going to he's very confident in his log, I'll put it that way.
He's efficient.
Push pressing, easy.
And I like this technique. You know, we see Nick, he took the world record with a split jerk, but, you know,
He works very hard on his push press, though.
From one split jerk athlete to another, if you can utilize the push press as much as possible, then go to the split jerk when you're fatigued. Again, it just helps that time and that transition in the first part of the event.
Absolutely. He looks like a machine on this event.
Here's the thing with Nick. He's methodical, right? I think, and this is going to be a big statement, but it's almost Big Z-esque when it comes to log press for reps.
Yes.
Because what you notice is his feet don't move out of position.
At all.
He literally has been glued to that spot. And again, we talk about energy conservation. We talk about being efficient throughout the lift. And there is 6 reps for Nick Cambi.
Nicolas Cambi putting on a pressing clinic here.
And just, again, it comes down to efficiency of the movement, right? His feet didn't move. He had a pace that he knew he was going to stick to, and he just stuck to his game plan the entire time.
Absolutely. And, you know, again, confidence is a big role in that. He knew what he could do, what he had to do, and he just went and did it.
So this is where the points game starts coming.
And Cambi's up. You know, Cambi traditionally has been a poor deadlifter, but he has attacked that weakness, and now it's one of his strengths.
You know, over the past year and a half, we've really seen a complete 180 in Nick Cambi as a competitor. We've known he's strong. We know he's just an all-around great athlete, but something has clicked for him, and that should scare every other 105 in the world.
For me, you know, I think he is the 105 to beat in the entire world until he decides not to be at this point.
I agree. Longer than they typically do.
Yeah.
He didn't get his hips involved in a pull as quick as we would expect.
And again, sometimes the fatigue of the day messes with your mechanics. You can't get in the position you normally do.
Absolutely. So Nick Cambi here, 725.
Look at that.
Nice
Nicolas
and
Cambi. Strong pull from Nick Cambi. All right, so Tyler Young also out at 725.
So we have
He
Nick
will share
Cambi.
points with who's it? Nate and Alex.
Yeah.
So you have 3 people right now sharing
Nate
points.
was successful at 745.
Oh, correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have Alex and Tyler at 725.
Okay.
Then Tommy, James, Matt, and Johnny at 675. So we clean off the platform a little bit for Nick Cambi to step up and attempt 745 pounds.
And I'm surprised Nick is going for this, to be honest. I would assume the way he's been pulling, he would have went right to 765. But Nick knows best. I ain't going to question the man's methods.
He might be playing a little game of strategy, doing this, gets him some good points. He knows Frank skipped it. Great
Good
pull.
lift for Nicolas. Very good lift. Looks like he's a little shaken up from it a little bit. Maybe he's blacking out. Or is he happy? I can't even tell.
Yes, I think is the answer.
He's everything right now.
He is. I mean, that's, again, just as well as I do, when you set a goal for a number that you want to pull in a show and once you're able to hit it, it's huge.
If Nick pulls this, it'll be the first time he's hit 765.
I mean, this will be a great pull. Again, we have 2 athletes already successful. Nick is in first, which is great. But this, again, he wants this number.
He does. He wants this.
Great pull
Good
from Nick
lift for
Cambi.
Nick. Great work for Nick.
65 is not a bad number to end the day on, though. That's for sure.
And he has that. That's his sole points. He's not sharing that with anyone. So he gets full points for that.
Absolutely. So guaranteed third place for Jeff Lee, which is
Guaranteed
great for him. Separates him a little bit because he was tied for third going into this event.
Yes. Very good point for him.
Here we go, Nick Cambi. Again, big PR pull for Nick Cambi. He's got it moving.
He's going to hitch it.
And there it is.
785 pounds.
785 for
Massive
Nick
deadlift for
Cambi.
Nicolas Cambi.
I'm partial to that technique.
Why do you point at me? What did I do?
Here we go. Nick Cambi stepping up, our last.
Nick moving fast.
Nice, easy carry on the 250 with a quick transition.
Easy pick. Moving.
Nice one motion carry
Very
for Cambi.
good. He is not leaving nothing to chance. He's
No,
taking
I mean,
his points.
and here's the thing. If I was Nick, focus on this third one. Make sure you're getting a good time, which he seems to be moving smooth, and then just end it here.
Yep.
But he's going to give this one a go.
Oh, and he's going.
I like
Look,
this
he's grabbing
move.
The
He's
only
got
smart
it.
one.
And another event win for Nick Cambi.
Nicolas Cambi running away with this competition. He's the only one that picked that the way it should have been picked.
4 bags, 41.14 seconds for Nick Cambi. And
Amazing.
yet another event win.
He is just not having none of it. He's not having anyone shit. He's not taking anything.
I mean, the thing with Nick, I think here's the thing of why we are so convinced that he is arguably the best 105 in the world.
Yep.
Is he hasn't just won every contest that he's gone to. He's dominated every show he's been at in the past year, along with breaking multiple records.
Yeah, it's not winning, it's dominance. That's what's defining Nick's
not only
legacy right now.
is he athletic and moving well, but he's putting up, literal world record-breaking weights.
Yep.
And really just solidifying himself as the top 105 in the world right now.
Absolutely. How to throw almost, because you make a little error like that, it could really come back, especially the heavier bags.
I will say, and something we haven't seen many athletes do, is you know, when you look at guys like Brian and Thor and these athletes that are fantastic throwers, what they typically do is they'll measure their spot from underneath the bar.
Yeah.
You know, with steps.
Oh, Nick, he needs to hit this.
There it is.
Right. That's the
height was no
seconds.
problem.
Yeah.
So all athletes successful at 40 pounds.
All through with the bag. I tell people all the time, you know, I grew up as a bowler, and it's very similar to bowling. You have to throw the ball the same way every time, and you have to follow through with your hand. So it's kind of like similar mental cues. Much better from Nick.
Much better from Nick Cambi there with 45, and now we're going to jump.
Nicolas Cambi.
Nick Cambi here, 50 pounds. Oh, just missed it. He needs to take a small step back.
Yep.
Oh, 2 in a row.
He tried to catch it.
Got to take a deep breath here, Nick.
He's got to hit this.
Gets it over.
Drama.
Attempt number 4.
The drama.
I guess he performs well under pressure.
You know, I'm happy he got that because throwing has been kind of his one Achilles heel besides the deadlift.
I mean, you know, I will say in the qualifiers at Clash, it did cost him some points and made it interesting to see if he would make it to the finals.
Yep.
So it is nice to see him step up a little bit and, you know, be able to hang on this event.
Unfortunately for him, only 2 people had dropped out at the 50. So this is going to be a big a pile up almost a little bit. This guy in third, Frank, is still in. So
Still
Frank's gonna
5
make up
athletes
points.
in. You know, I mean, there's points on the board. You know, Jeff needs some guys to miss this next lift, essentially. Nick Cambi really giving this a go.
He really needs this.
And it looks like 55 might be just a little bit too much.
It just didn't quite have it in him. Good news for Cambi, though, is Jeff misses well.
It is good news for Cambi. It also does help Jeff just a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, that does. That takes another point from losing. So that helps Jeff a little bit. You know, Jeff has that injured thumb, too, so I'm interested to see if he can actually...
He's in a good spot, and he's off. Nick Cambi with an extremely high pick.
Very high.
Nick Cambi's got to watch his foot.
Came off a little bit. He's recovered, though. He's coming off again. Jeff needs to pick it up a little bit. He's got to get some distance here.
James is slowing. He is working pretty slow. He's only gone 3 rounds.
Looks like he's slipping a little bit. Again, I think that thumb is really, this is the event that it's affecting him on.
Nick Cambi with 6 rounds.
Jeff slipping a little bit. Jeff trying to do the James thing where he's trying to rest.
Nick Cambi coming in for rep number 8. Gets it across.
Jeff waving to the crowd.
That run is going to secure the win for Nick Cambi today.
Cambi just won America's Strongest Man 2021.
Jeff Lee still trying to make the most of this run. Nick Cambi with a run of 224 feet.
All right. And we have to do some math to figure out the podium.
The podium's going to be tight. We know James Deffenbaugh, he has secured second place.
Tommy took second in that event.
I don't have their audio.
You can just put us on, yeah. So going through the final placings for the 105 kilo America's Strongest Man, we had Nate Bowling in 10th, Matt Moeller in 9th, Johnny Wazico coming in 8th place, Tyler Young in 7th, Alex Bromley in 6th, and stepping up we have Frank Provenzano in 5th. Again, we talked about this a little bit earlier, that the placings for the top 5 were close.
It was razor thin.
Tommy Sharp coming in 4th place.
Half point.
Only half a point off the podium.
Yep. You know, he pushed through some injuries. I'm very proud of him and how he performed.
You know what? He did have a great second half of the contest, though.
Did.
Started out a little slow, but really came in a great spot.
And we got Jeff Lee taking 3rd place.
Jeff Lee
podium.
coming,
I think this is his first ASM.
coming in 3rd place, first competition since 2017, walking away with a nice little check of $3,000 today for 3rd place.
It's great. This is a memory, and he really came back and made a statement and said, hey, I'm here.
In 2nd place, receiving $5,000.
Coming in 2nd place, we have James Deffenbaugh.
Nice payday for 2nd place ASM.
$5,000, not too bad.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
Hell of a trooper, man. He fucking performed. I didn't mean to cuss. It's the end of the day. I'm tired and hungry.
Anthony, with this live stream, we're not on a delay, so we're not going to make Don work that hard backstage.
Receiving $12,000.
Nick Cambi going undefeated this year.
Continues his
Taking
rampage.
a big win back in April at Clash on the Coast, and then coming in and winning America's Strongest Man 2021. Again, a nice little payday of $12,000 for Nick Cambi.
He's just on a rampage right now through the 105 world, and he's at the top level. He's operating at a different wavelength than these guys, and it's fun to watch. And he just asked him to be a groomsman in his wedding. I'm touched.
That's amazing.
And he got a nice belt from Pioneer.
Amazing performance from the 105 men today at America's Strongest Man. Top 3 one more time. In 3rd place, Jeffrey Lee. In 2nd place, James Deffenbaugh. And our champion, Nick Cambi.
Wow. I mean, it was a fun, thrilling, it was a fun competition to watch. These guys were getting after it all day.
And again, it is really just the start of this 105 takeover. As we're seeing, here at America's Strongest Man, some amazing performances. Then you guys with the Strength League Collective really stepping up to make 2022 an amazing Clash on the Coast.
Yeah, we just announced today we partnered with Strongman Corps to run America's Strongest Man 2022 in the 105 kilos in Nashville, Tennessee. Strength League Collective. We'll be running it. It'll be our show. So I'm very excited to provide more opportunities for these guys. Can just keep growing.
It's such amazing work that you guys are doing for the 105 athletes. As myself, a product of the 105 class, it is so exciting for me to see and to be a part of on this side of the table, to be able to give these guys that stage.
I'm excited too as well, being a former athlete and just knowing what I know about the class and the love for it. It's really fulfilling to be able to give back.
Absolutely. They deserve all the recognition they're getting, and we are about to go into the final standings for